Ever picked up your phone, saw a name or number you didn't recognize, and wondered, how on earth does my phone know who's calling me? It's not magic, though it might seem like it. It's a system of interconnected networks, data exchanges, and some clever engineering that we call caller ID. But when you're dealing with a business phone system like 8x8, things get a little more complex, a little more powerful. So, let's dive deep and unravel this mystery, specifically focusing on how caller ID works within the 8x8 ecosystem. We take for granted this little piece of information that pops up on our screens. We expect it to be accurate, instant, and reliable. But behind that seemingly simple display lies a sophisticated process. Think about it. When you dial a number, your phone isn't directly contacting the recipient's phone. Instead, it's talking to your service provider, which in turn talks to other service providers, and so on, until the call reaches its destination. And somewhere in that journey, the caller's information is being captured and transmitted. Now, imagine this happening on a massive scale with thousands of calls happening simultaneously, especially in a business environment. That's where a platform like 8x8 comes into play. 8x8 isn't just a phone system. It's a unified communications platform, managing voice, video, messaging, and more. So, how does caller ID operate within this complex landscape? Let's start with the basics. When a call is initiated, the originating phone system, whether it's a traditional landline or a voice-over internet protocol, VoIP, system like 8x8, sends out a signal that includes the caller's number. This signal is routed through the telecommunications network, and as it travels, switches and servers along the way capture and transmit this information. In the case of traditional landlines, this information is often transmitted using a technology called automatic number identification, ANI. ANI is a part of the Signaling System 7, SS7, network, a global telecommunications signaling network that allows phone networks to exchange information. ANI is a core piece of how the called party's network knows who is calling. However, 8x8, being a VoIP system, primarily uses Session Initiation Protocol, SIP. SIP is a signaling protocol used for initiating, maintaining, and terminating real-time sessions, including voice and video calls, over IP networks. When an 8x8 user makes a call, the system sends SIP messages that contain the caller's number and, potentially, their name. This information is embedded within the SIP headers. Now, here's where things get interesting with 8x8. 8x8 allows for a high degree of customization and control over caller ID. Businesses can set their caller ID to display their company name, a specific department, or even a customer service number. This is crucial for branding and customer service. For instance, a customer support team might want their calls to display Acme Corporation support instead of a generic phone number. How does 8x8 achieve this customization? It involves configuring the system to send specific information within the SIP messages. When a call is routed through the 8x8 network, the system looks up the caller's information in its database and inserts the desired caller ID information into the SIP headers. This information is then passed along to the receiving phone system. But what about the name? How does that get displayed? In many cases, the name is retrieved from a database associated with the receiving phone system or a third-party database. These databases are often populated with information from various sources, including phone directories and public records. For 8x8, this process can be streamlined through integrations with customer relationship management, CRM, systems. If a customer's information is stored in a CRM, 8x8 can retrieve that information and display it on the recipient screen. This integration not only enhances customer service but also provides valuable context for the person receiving the call. Another crucial aspect of caller ID is its role in preventing fraud and spam. With the rise of robocalls and spoofing, caller ID has become an essential tool for identifying potentially malicious calls. Spoofing, where a caller deliberately falsifies their caller ID to disguise their identity, is a significant problem. 8x8, like other modern telecommunications providers, implements various measures to combat spoofing. One such measure is the STIR/SHAKEN framework. STIR, Secure Telephone Identity Revisited, and SHAKEN, signature-based handling of asserted information using tokens, are industry standards designed to authenticate caller ID information. Stir/shaken works by digitally signing calls as they pass through the network. This signature verifies that the call is coming from a legitimate source and that the caller ID information has not been tampered with. 8x8, by adhering to these standards, helps to ensure that the caller ID information displayed is accurate and reliable. Furthermore, 8x8 provides tools that allow businesses to manage their caller ID information effectively. This includes the ability to block unwanted calls, create whitelists of trusted numbers, and customize caller ID settings for different departments or teams. Consider a large company with multiple departments. Each department might have its own dedicated phone number and caller ID. 8x8 allows the company to configure the system so that calls from each department display the appropriate caller ID information. This ensures that customers know who is calling and can route their calls accordingly. Another key component is the integration with emergency services. When a 911 call is made through 8x8, the system automatically transmits the caller's location information to emergency responders. This is crucial for ensuring that help arrives quickly and accurately. This functionality is enabled through enhanced 911, E911 services, which rely on accurate caller ID and location information. Let's break down the technical flow of a typical 8x8 call and how caller ID is handled. Call initiation. A user initiates a call from their 8x8 device. SIP signaling. The 8x8 system sends SIP messages containing the caller's number and, if configured, their name and other relevant information. Network routing. The call is routed through the 8x8 network and then to the public switched telephone network, PSTN, or another VoIP network. Caller ID transmission. The caller's information is transmitted along with the call, either through ANI for landlines or SIP headers for VoIP. Database lookup. The receiving phone system or a third-party database looks up the caller's information and retrieves the corresponding name or other details. Display. The caller's number and name are displayed on the recipient screen. Stir/shaken verification. If implemented, the stir/shaken framework verifies the authenticity of the caller ID information. CRM integration. If configured, 8x8 retrieves customer information from a CRM system and displays it on the recipient screen. In essence, 8x8 provides a robust and flexible caller ID system that allows businesses to manage their communications effectively. It integrates seamlessly with various systems and databases, ensuring that accurate and relevant information is displayed to the recipient. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.